Alright everyone, Dorkbrandon rising. We have another senior sundown moment from Joe Biden. He's not being treated the same way as his predecessor though, with regards to his latest gaffe in Florida to tout Hurricane Ian aid and talk to the people of Florida and say, don't worry, I've got your back. Yeah, I know that I've made gas prices catastrophically higher and the housing market right now is beginning to collapse, but don't worry, federal money, funny money will be pumped into your state in order to help people rebuild. It will be highly conditional. According to Kamala Harris, it'll be partially race-based. We'll be talking about that as the main subject of our live stream today because there is massive damage control for her as well as for Joe Biden. He says, no one fucks with a Biden. I can remember when Obama called Kanye West a jackass. This was hailed as a really, really thrilling moment within the U.S. presidency. Oh my god, the president just said jackass. Ha ha ha, he's cool. Yay, it's rad and tubular and all that. I remember that when Donald Trump was president, he would say the term bullshit or hell or something like that. He was called unpresidential for doing so. It's unbecoming to the presidency for him to use any form of vulgarity. They became very stoic and very traditionalistic in their coverage of the presidential role, but only for 4 years. Now Biden is president. Well, Stewart. He's the asterisk president, at least. He's the person with a bunch of puppet strings attached to him from the international cabals that exist. But he's considered cool now, too, for saying fuck. Oh my god, the President of the United States just dropped the F-bomb. Only now it's not cool and tubular and rad anymore. It's straight bussin', no cap for real. You can dab on him and all that bullshit. Link in the description. You can watch this for yourself. All I see is a senior moment. All I see is yet another Joe Biden gaffe. He goes unhinged. He goes on his, hey, it's still 1959, I'm wearing the leather jacket and I've got my hair greased back. Yeah, and we used to take razor blades and, you'd knock them on the curb and get them all rusty and then you'd cut a person with them and all of that stuff. We saw that tale in relation to Corn Pop some time ago. He's living in the 1950s or 60s when he was still young and when his kind of music was still in the top 40 charts. And he had another senior moment. He went off the rails here and tried to do the tough guy shtick. It's sort of like when Joe Biden would challenge people to push-up contests, would call people fat. When he says, hey, I ain't with that, Jack, and, all of that stupid jive shit that he does, pretending that he was ever one of the cool kids to begin with. By the way, in the process, he's been in the Senate since the fucking mid-1970s, so he's more of the starch suit kind, not the leather jacket kind, just so that we're aware of the reality of the situation. And I'm thinking to myself, the cope that I see from liberals on this, trying to cast Joe Biden off as the tough guy. Well, he's basically like Top Gun or something like that. Yes, he's Tom Cruise, is hilarious because they realize that it's a gaffe. Oh shit, Joe Biden just dropped an F-bomb on a hot mic moment. It was not apparently pre-planned. We've got to do something about this because people are going to start thinking that he's cuckoo because we've spent years now saying that it's unpresidential if you say something like that. You said, damn it. Oh my god, there are children watching your State of the Union speech and you just said, damn. All of the children, now they've all been corrupted. The parents are shrieking and holding their hands to their heads, clutching their pearls. Oh my god, little Jimmy just heard the president say damn it, so now he's obviously going to think that it's okay to say damn it. That was the logic of the Trump era. It wasn't the logic that's applied to Obama, or even to Bush for that matter. It's certainly not the logic that's applied by these morons with regards to Dorkbrandon. And Dorkbrandon really is the moniker that more sticks, because he is a fucking dork. He's an 80-year-old man. He can barely walk sometimes. He has to be led around by his wife or by a staffer or by a nearby security detail or something like that just in order to walk on and off a stage. The man is not mentally competent to hold the office that he's currently in. He's not physically competent to do butt fuck. His daily war, I like some people were saying, well, I love it when Biden shows his fighting spirit. His daily fight is he chokes down the bran muffin, he washes it down with a double shot of prune juice, and then he goes to the bathroom and he has a fight for 30 minutes. That's his daily fight. This is Joe Biden's life. Joe Brandon. He's 80 years old. He's not Top Gun. He's not Americana. He's a globaloid. And the cope is very real. The Midas touch celebrating this moment. I do seem to recall virtually all of the people saying that this is a sign of Joe Biden's vigor, a sign of Joe Biden's masculinity. They get really gendered about it too, by the way. You may have noticed that in some of the replies when you look at the postings across the internet. Joe Biden is strong. Joe Biden is charismatic. Joe Biden doesn't hesitate to say fuck because he's Joe Biden and therefore cool because of his aviators or something. I do seem to recall that a large plurality of these same individuals, and someone can dig back into the archives on Twitter and YouTube and places like that, and I'm sure that you can find plenty of examples of this for yourself. Don't trust me? Fucking do the dirty work yourself for once. You'll find plenty of examples of them calling out Trump for saying something that's more innocuous than the F-bomb. Unless you say cunt or something like that, like Joe Biden comes out and calls... he calls Carrie Lake a cunt or something. Okay, then you've impressed me. Because then you've truly flipped your lid. You've truly gone insane. But at least it'll be funny. Nobody cares about you saying fuck at this point. I say it every single day on YouTube and other platforms. Everyone else says it. The decorum of the old traditionalistic English language as far as Americana is concerned has pretty much fallen by the wayside. We're not in Andy Griffith land anymore. But Joe Biden is. And so when the Andy Griffith era relic decides to say nobody fucks with me, all of a sudden it's taken as a ticket of his strength and his fortitude and his masculine vigor. The dude hasn't had vigor for 20, 30 years. He's geriatric. He's literally elderly. He's gone beyond the age of 75 quite some time ago. So, don't get me started on Joe Biden's prowess, his virility, and all of this other bullshit. These people are being taken in by like fucking lemmings, and it's funny to watch. It's a senior moment. This is a gaffe. But they're covering it, they're talking about it as though it's not a gaffe, as though it's some sort of virtuous trait. Well, look at Joe Biden being so powerful. He's not powerful. The dude has suffered like 4 fucking falls since his asterisk stewardship began. He falls up the stairs of Air Force One. He fell down in the shower, allegedly chasing his dog, trying to grab its tail, broke his ankle or some shit in the process. He has all sorts of health issues. He obviously has mental health issues. The man is demented. If anything, the people celebrating him Coliseum style, bread and fucking circus style, are just contributing to his misery at this point. He's an elderly man, and you should put him out to pasture. He should be allowed to retire from the battlefield. Okay, you've got your presidency, Joe. You were a senator for a long time. You served under Obama. He considered you to be an idiot and said this in public multiple times, both publicly and privately, actually. So you've had your run, and it's time to go and sit on your porch next to the funny farm and await your sundowning. That's really what should be happening. The Dorkbrandon meme has been cringe since day one. I wonder, do any of the liberals recall that meme actually began in China? That it was literally about Joe Biden's warmongering? Do you realize what meme you're going with regards to his constant gaffes and senior moments? I don't think that they do. I don't think that they bothered to fact check at all. It's sort of like when they continue to use Ultra MAGA as a moniker for people that they don't like. You just make MAGA seem cooler. What the fuck are you people doing? That's about all. Peace out.